Right, hello guys, and welcome back to another day at the New Forest in Hampshire. We just pulled into a campsite called Back and Beyond, which is an adults only site, and just not far from Ringwood. So we went down to Poole for the day, and we just came back. So it's quite late at the moment. They've got a little bar on site, so we're going to walk up there now to have a glass of wine. I just thought I'll give you a little show what we got. We're on a hard standing, which is brilliant because the last site was on grass and we had to dig our way out. But this site, so far, first impressions, is absolutely lovely for getting on. And access routes getting in and out are brilliant. It's nice and quiet. And I'll just show you, look, we're right backing onto the woods here. There's a little tiny path here for dog walks, so you can go in and you can walk around the woods. I think he said it's an acre walk around the woods. You've got your own
acres in total.
Own little tiny picnic bench there, which would be lovely in the summer. Not so much now because we're not in the summer and we're getting a lot of wet weather. And this is our little pitch here, hard standing. So yeah, not bad first impressions. So I'll just lock the van up and we'll walk up the pub and I'll show you that when we get up there. Yeah, it's a very quiet site. Not far from the A31, so you come straight off the A31 onto this site. I know it's pretty dark actually. Might do another little review tomorrow.
The clocks have changed, so it's really...
Right, so today we're off onto the Castleman Trail, which is an old railway line. I'll put it on the blog and everything and update you bits and pieces about it later on. We just want to get going at the moment because it's looking quite wet again. So we've got the bikes all ready to go, and for once I've got waterproof bottoms on now, so I shouldn't get as wet as we did the other day when we was up at Red Shoot, when we went to the garden centre where we actually chucked it down for the whole journey. So hopefully this won't be so bad. We should be able to get access to it from the site, but it's not guaranteed because they usually have to go off site and then around. But we'll show you if we can get through the woods and access onto the trail straight from the site. Right, so we've just come up to the end of the road through this housing place, and this brings you onto the Castleman Road, which is a much better way. We couldn't get through the woods from the site, but we'll show you on the blog the route we've done.
2.5 miles through a housing estate.
Yeah, it's 2.5 miles.
Yeah. It was nice. Pretty houses.
And then this is 14 miles if you want to do it all the way down to Poole. But yeah, it's all mostly nice roads, not the busy roads if you follow the route we've just done. Yeah, so this is the old railway line that we're following anyway. Ashley Heath Railway. And there's a little bit of information up down here, which shows us where we are, which is just about the middle of the route. So we're following down to Westmore.
Ashley Heath? Yeah.
No, we're at Ashley Heath then, where the cross is. That's it. And we're following down left to Westmore. You could go to Ringwood, which goes on further from Ringwood down to Southampton, Christchurch, Dorset and Salisbury. So there's quite a lot of routes here that you can follow. And most of the routes have been pretty good. It's all been a nice surface. There is a few other routes onto here which we're exploring the way back to make it easier. As you can see, most of it's nice easy cycling route with nice walks along the left hand side into the woods if you need to get into them. Alright, so we've been going 2 miles on this track.
Yep.
We're going about 2 miles on this track. It's been pretty good so far, a little bit uphill, but it's still quite a good route so far. All the way along the track you might see the odd turnings like this one here, which goes to Westmore's plantation, which is the route down here which the site recommends if you went along the main road past the pub. So you did a right at the campsite instead of what we did as a left. You can go all the way down past the pub and then come up this way. And the reason why we didn't pick that is purely because we're trying to keep off the main roads. And the way we went, which is coming down this way and following up through the housing estate, you saw comes up for a lovely, nice ride onto this area. So we're going to be going right now on towards Poole. Whether we get to Poole or not is another matter. So if you follow it right through the little housing estate there, you end up coming out to the main road here, but opposite the tap and railway. And then we should be going right down here and picking up the trail again. Alright, so follow the main road down from that pub. When you get to the speed camera here, and if you see that first, it's turning down the left hand side, and this gets you back onto the trail away from the roads. Alright, so now it's more of a woodland sort of trail rather than the railway trail now, which is just as easy to get across. I haven't got a mountain bike, and so I've been able to get across it quite well, although if you had a mountain bike it'd be a lot easier, but otherwise it's quite a nice little trail still. Alright, typical, starting to rain on our route. We come out here at the golf place where we're heading straight onto Amesford. So as you can see, opposite is a police station, and to the left is the golf course. So if you get to this point, you know where you are. You just got to go straight on. Right, so when you get to the police station here and the golf course, which originally I said go straight on, we made a complete balls of it because we got completely lost. Didn't get nowhere near the Castleman Trail, went round and round the circle and ended up coming back to where we are. What we should have been doing, if you look at the sign, it had a freeway sign up there, we should have been going down that way, and we didn't. So if you are following this trail, you're better off following the GPS. If you follow the GPS signal and the route that's on my website, which I should have done, we would have followed the Castle Trail all the way, but I decided to wing it a bit and just see if I can follow the map instead, and got completely lost. Anyway, we're heading back to site now. We might pull into a pub on the way back. I think it's called, what is it called?
Tapham Railway?
Tapham Railway, which you go past on the way here. If we can, we'll pop in there for something to eat and we'll let you know what that's like. Or we might go on to Stoke Hill. We're going to see what we feel like. Right, so we popped into the Tapham Railway. Managed to get back here after getting lost around the trail. Had a lovely meal, nice pint of beer and very friendly staff. So if you do get lost like us and you're popping back to the campsite, or even if you're just popping back to the campsite and this is the way route, it's not far from the site now. Well worth popping in for a pint, and if you haven't had anything to eat, something to eat. So it's quite a nice, it's a chain restaurant, but it's a nice place to pop into. Right, so we're back at the junction that we started with at the beginning of the cycle route, which is from the campsite by the road. Which I'd say you could get to from probably some of the little side traps paths that we saw along the route, but we haven't been able to pop that out. Anyway, we're going to carry on across the road and straight down, and we're heading on to Ringwood. So we've had our dinner, and then we're going to go down to Ringwood, do a little bit of shopping in Sainsbury's, I want some more trousers, and maybe another pint of beer. Right, so most of the route so far going to Ringwood. So if you're coming out of the site and you want to go, when we went up to the site early, instead of doing a left that we did, we want to do a right, going to Ringwood. This is the route we're doing, and you can see it's still all off-road. It's the old railway line, so it's a pretty good route, although pretty muddy this time of year. But then that's the time of year, nothing to do with the route. Other than the route's pretty good. We've got about another mile to go before we hit Ringwood. So we made it into Ringwood town centre, where we put the bikes up. We're going to see if Sainsbury's opens. I've got some nice trousers out of there, so I've got to get some more. And if it's not, then we're going to find a pint, a pub even, and find a pint in the pub to have a pint of beer. And then head back to the campsite, which is a couple of miles. What do you reckon? That's 2 miles?
It's 5 miles.
5 miles to get here?
Yeah.
So it's another 5 miles on a daily trip, holiday trip.
20 today.
20 today, yeah. Alright guys, got back late last night from our little cycle route. Sort of went completely wrong. We didn't follow the route that I had planned out, which I put on my blog. I decided to do it myself, and we ended up getting lost. We missed a certain turn we should have took. We ended up in some woods and some bogged out area. Anyway, we did about 15 miles in the end, and we got back. On the way back, if you're following the proper route, on the way back,
yeah, Castleway Trail.
Yeah, the Castleway Trail. There is a pub called the Railway and Tap, which is on the main road as you're going through, and it's a lovely little pub. We stopped in there for some little bite to eat, normal sort of franchise sort of food, but it's still very nice, very friendly people. Nice pint of beer in there, and we needed it after getting lost for miles.
And considering a few pubs we looked at were closed on Mondays.
Yeah, and a lot of places that we was planned to go to were all closed because it's Monday. So bear in mind, a lot of pubs close on Mondays, which we didn't realise as well, because they're open over the weekends. And it was quite wet as well, so it's nice to pop in there for a pint. We carried on the Castleway Trailway past the campsite, and we went all the way into Ringwood, which is about 3 miles Ringwood from the campsite. So it's a nice easy ride into Ringwood, without having to hit many roads. There's a couple of little roads, like small roads that you have to go down, but no major roads really. And you get into the main town at the centre of Ringwood, where we could do a bit more shopping. Got a few more trousers from Sainsbury's, and we popped into a pub on the way back called the Fish Inn, where we had another pint of beer. And that's another really nice pub, right on the riverfront. So we didn't eat in there, but it just looked quite nice.
Did look really nice. Yeah, we got some cheesy chips, didn't we?
Yeah,
Which is tasty.
and we left there quite late at night. So we went back down the trail, get back to the site, and pitch black, and our little torches that we got on our bike, which are great for road, we found out are no good when you're going through the woods. So we do need to upgrade our lighting on the bikes, because it was so dark you couldn't even see in front of you. But anyway, so far the campsite is on, which is Back and Beyond, is a really nice site for doing that sort of trail. It's got lovely woodlands on the back, which is quite massive woodlands we cycled around. Hopefully I'll show you that. Excellent toilets, showers are really nice. The little pub on site was really good, friendly staff there, and everyone gets a little chat with each other, and hard standings. I mean, you can't really fault the site really. So good little site really for where it was. Well, that'd be it for this vlog. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We're going to go off now to Poole for the day, and I'll let you know what it's like down there. It's about a 35-minute drive from there down to Poole, and there's a little place down there we can stop.